Yeah, I heard you in an interview where you said that point blank, Muhammad Ali is the greatest of all time.
Greatest of all time, without a doubt. Hands down.
So even if you would take Tyson in his prime
Yes.
against Ali, you would still pick Ali.
Yes. Yes, because you know what? Ali had it all. He could punch, he could take a punch.
Yeah.
And I always said Muhammad Ali was the greatest. Joe Louis was the second greatest.
Mm.
Joe Louis was a great fighter, and I look up to those guys. And especially when I was bodyguarding Muhammad Ali, it was just he was my idol, because back in the day, I went to his training camp, and actually had my daughter with me. She was like, 5 years old, and we went to go see him at Deer Lake, Pennsylvania, at his training camp.
Yeah, I really wish that he had stopped earlier, because I felt like his last few fights, he shouldn't have had it.
He should have never fought Holmes. Holmes was still a young guy. He was his sparring partner back in the day. And Ali was just old at the time. He should never fought that. But if you remember when Mike fought Larry Holmes, Ali whispered in his ear, "Get him for me."
Right. Well, and I actually interviewed Mike Tyson. We talked about this.
Okay.
Remember Ali's last fight was Trevor Berbick.
Yeah.
And Trevor really abused him. And I remember when I interviewed Larry Holmes, he said, we talked about how Trevor Berbick died. I think his nephew beat him to death with a metal bar in Jamaica or something.
Crazy, man.
And, Holmes was like, good. He deserved it. God don't like ugly. He was a piece of shit. And I remember when I interviewed Tyson and he fought Trevor Berbick, he said that was the angriest fight he's ever had, because he hated him so much over what he did to Ali, because Ali was his idol.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Yes.
And you actually did bodyguard work for Tyson as well, right?
Yes. Yes.
Any interesting stories with Mike?
We were at that hotel when he had the brawl with Lennox Lewis.
Oh.
If you remember that one.
I do remember
where they
that.
came face to face, and then the bodyguard came up to Mike, and Mike went to hit him, and Lennox hit him, and it was a big brawl. But I was in the back when this happened. So I came running out. At the time I got there, it was a big pile. So I'm going through, and actually I had my long duster and my Hell's Angel patch on me, and all you see was me pulling people out looking for Mike.
I mean, what do you think was the most serious situation out of all the bodyguard work that you've ever done? Did anything ever happen where your life or your client's life was in danger on any level?
You know what? Bodyguarding people, it's mostly, crowd control, because people are always trying to get near them and try and take something, as a souvenir. It wasn't where somebody was trying to, kill somebody. It wasn't like, the time with, John Lennon.
Yeah.
My thing was always crowd control with people, because everybody wanted to get near them. Like I said, everybody wanted to get a picture with them. And I used to tell people before we got out of the car, look, just make a path, take all the pictures you want. Just let us get through.
Yeah.
And most of the time, 90%, 99%, it was okay. One time I was coming out with Sean Penn, and he just did a premiere. And we were coming out, and it was paparazzi all over the place. And I said, look, just make a path, and we'll come out, and we could just let us walk into the restaurant. Well, they decided not to. So there was a police barricade there. I told Sean, wait in the car. I got the barricade, and I just pushed everybody with the barricade. They started falling. I said, now we'll do it the hard way. Then they finally got out of the way. We walked in the restaurant. But there was nobody trying to hurt, my clients. They were just trying to get close, maybe grab something, get a souvenir or something.
Right.
But there was no, their life was never in danger. And I remember one time coming out of the Martin Beck Theater with Liza. And we go back the back door, and there'd be 50 to 100 people waiting for her to sign autographs to take pictures. And one night we came out, and it was the fire exit. There was a guy standing on top of the stairs, maybe 10 steps up. And as soon as we came out, I opened the door, and he went like this. And I pushed Liza away. I grabbed him by the throat, and I grabbed his hand. I thought he was going for a gun. And he pulled out a camera. I says, oh, boy. I said, I'm screwing down. This guy's going to sue me and everything else. I said, why are you standing here out of everybody? Everybody's down here. So what we did was, like, called the situation and gave him front row tickets for the next night.
Nice. But wasn't there a situation where a journalist for Newsweek had written a story about Sean Penn?
Oh, yes. AJ Benza. He used to have that show, Ain't Life a Bitch or something. It was, I forgot the name of the show, but he had a show at night about celebrities and everything else. Anyway, one time, my friend Johnny C. calls me up and he goes, did you read the Newsweek? I said, no. He goes, read the Newsweek, get the Newsweek. So I got the Newsweek and it said how a Hell's Angel came up to him to talk about Sean Penn. And it says, I like Sean Penn, so I'm not going to write about him. So now you see this and I got pissed off.
Did they actually name you in the article?
No, he just said Hell's Angel.
Okay,
at Scores.
But you were actually the
but
bodyguard.
I'm the only Hell's Angel went to Scores. So it took a brain surgeon to know who he was talking about.
Right.
So I get pissed off. And I know he used to hang out at Rayo's. I went up to Rayo's. I got on my motorcycle, went up to Rayo's. I went in there, looked around. You see AJ? No. Next stop, I pull up at Scores. I pull right up on the sidewalk. Right in the lobby, you see AJ Benza there. I pull up, boom, get off my bike. He runs inside. Now, the manager at the time was John Saliano, who's now Goomba Johnny. He's actually a good comedian. Mm-hmm. And I says, where's AJ? He goes, he ran that way. He goes, do me a favor. Take him in the office because I had a few fights and Scores already. And I grab AJ. I said, I want to talk to you in the office. I pull out the magazine. I said, what is this? He goes, the Newsweek magazine. New York magazine or Newsweek, something like that. I think it was New York magazine. And I said, I don't know what it is. I said, what is this article right here? Well, you said a Hell's Angel was giving you dirt on Sean Penn. I said, since when did I ever talk to you about Sean Penn, one of my clients, and a dear friend of mine? He goes, well, you didn't talk to me, but I thought you overheard. I thought I overheard you once. I said, you overheard me talk about my client and dear friend? He goes, yeah, I think so. Boom, I hit him with a shot, unconscious. He fell down, boom. My friend Johnny opened the door, looked at him, he said, wow, he closed the door again. And so I waited to him. He was out a couple of minutes. He got to, and I said, now he was bleeding. I said, now what you're going to do, you're going to retract this story. You hear me? He goes, yeah, I'll do anything. I said, you retract this story. I will. I said, I have your word as a man. He goes, yes. I said, good. Go wash your face. I'll buy you dinner. And I bought him dinner.
You guys became friends after that?
Oh, we were friends before that.
Before that?
And after that incident, I bought him dinner and we're still friends to today.
Still friends today. Crazy.